I'm totally relying on him. Even knew all the Chinese, the Taiwan guys. I didn't know any of them. You know, when I'm in the PBA, I'm locked in the PBA, and I watched it a little bit. You know, I never studied what was going on. But all this time with Josh and the under 17 and stuff, you know, he knows everything. He knows the young guys coming up. He knows the guys that are already there. And I'd be totally lost without Josh on this team right now. So, real thankful that he's here because I'd be in big trouble if he wasn't. He was the one that told me about Chang Ryu and how good he is, and made me study video on him. And now I'm a believer how good he is. So again, Josh is really, really crucial. And also Jong is just really knowledgeable in the international game. You know, about when they call timeouts, how many you have, you know, what the rules are, what to expect from the referees. So, you know, Richard and I are PBA guys, you know, so we need those international guys to be around us, and that's what Josh and Jong fill out for us. Especially Josh, I must say, because Josh really, you know, he's a scout's dream.
Coach, yeah, against Taiwan, they lost big to New Zealand, but what can you say
They
about
didn't lose
that?
big to New Zealand. They lost in the last 5 minutes of the basketball game. It was a 3 or 4 point game with 5 minutes to go, and there were portions of the game and where they led, and so. You look at the final score, it's the same thing what happened to us with Hong Kong. We won by 30, but at halftime we were up by 3. So, you know, don't underestimate Taiwan. We have to be very, very careful not to underestimate or take anything for granted, because you got to remember, New Zealand is the top 20 in the world team.
Right.
And they took them all the way down the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game and had a chance to win. And New Zealand had a desperation 3 at the top with the key, with the shot clock going down. That gave them a 7-point lead. It was only a 4-point lead up until that point. And that kind of opened up the game for them. But it was a desperation heave from back here. And right at the shot clock, so if that doesn't go in, they come down and score. It's a 2-point game or a 1-point game. You never know what happens in that basketball game. So again, don't underestimate Taiwan. You know, we've been studying them, watching their video. They move the ball extremely well. They're very well coached. They have a really nice zone that's very active, and they played zone against New Zealand for most of the game. So that's something we've had to prepare for. Luckily, we saw a zone against Hong Kong, so that helped us prepare as well. So hopefully we can carry some of that over.
Yeah.
But you know, PBA doesn't play a lot of zone. You know, we do, but we don't, and not a lot. So it's a lot harder for our guys to adjust to zone, especially when you haven't been around for a while. You know, you focus on mostly your man-to-man defense, and then someone throws a zone. It can be really difficult to figure out in the beginning. But the more you see zone, the easier it is. So we saw a lot of zone last game, so we're hoping that we'll be better adjusted coming in this game.
Coach, the adjustment you did coming to the third quarter. So what adjustments did you do there
Well, I don't want to tell you because I'll have to kill you then. Well, yeah, we did make an adjustment. It was we debated on doing it earlier in the game, and we held it off, and then we did make the adjustment. Basically, just getting Scotty more involved in the offense and in the zone, letting him have more, you know, dictate the play a little bit more, look for him a little bit more, and he did. You know, we wanted to get him the ball so he could find open guys, and he found open guys. So whether that will continue to work, you never know, because they saw the video too, and they're going to make adjustments, and maybe they shut, you know, or denied Scotty the ball harder, and we have to look at other areas, and that's what we prepared for today.
Coach, looking at the bigger picture, how important is it to sweep this first window to the 4-year program?
Well, I mean, if we don't, then we fall behind Taipei, and we have to make type 2 to advance to FIBA Asia. So this is a huge game. I mean, this is the one that's going to dictate it for you right here, and we're also a home court.
Yes.
You know, we have to win here. We may end up, you know, oftentimes against teams that are fairly equal, you split home court games. So we got to take care of our home court here. So this is absolutely crucial. We don't want to lose at home. We don't want to lose in front of our own crowd. So, I'm just hoping the guys can come out and play free and easy and not tight like they did against Hong Kong in the beginning of the game. But for sure, this is really, really important for us. It's a crucial game in many, many respects. But for me, the biggest respect is that we're here in front of our home fans, and this is our home court, and we want to protect our home court. That's why we need to win.
Kai Sotto a while ago, he told us that he was his skill set worked really well on your system. So what are your thoughts about coaching Kai?
Well, in our system, we really emphasize the big man getting touches. Not necessarily touches to score, but touches to pass, or they're just always involved. A lot of systems just put the big guy in the baseline, and he loops around trying to wait for a drop pass or get an offensive rebound. We like to get our big guys involved, and that's one of the tenements of the triangle. So and he's such a great passer. He has such great vision, and so all of our cutting and slicing and all that stuff really works when he's handling the ball and controlling the ball. So yes, his skill set is well placed in our system. But I just don't think you've seen the best of Kai yet. You see more of Kai, you're going to realize how good this kid is. And it's still hard to imagine he's only 21 years old. I mean, come on. The kid is, and he's so explosive. He's really worked on his body and his explosiveness. And he's getting off the floor really, really easy. So the player, when he came in, all the teammates were really amazed on how explosive and quick he was, as opposed to last time we saw him in the World Cup when he had his back issues that were kind of limiting him. So I think this is the first time our home crowd is really going to be able to see Kai since Ateneo days.
Right. Coach, on a different topic, I noticed that Donald Gumaro and Ralph, who is here, they are in the bubble, in the Inspire camp. So,
well, I have to admit, we kind of adopted them right now because number one, they're really enthusiastic to be here, and that kind of lifts us up a little bit. And number two, they know the system that they've had a whole conference already, and even more with the PBA tour. They know our system, and so they're models and teachers to the guys. And even though they're rookies, these guys still ask them questions, and where should I be? What should I do? And in the meantime, they're just generating a lot of confidence for themselves. You can play with these guys at this level, get in and scrimmage them, hit down, knock shots down, or defend them. That's going to raise your own level of confidence. So I think it's exciting times for these guys, and they've been, like I said, they've been godsend to us because we've had, because of injuries, we've had short rosters. So they've been able to step up and not lose a beat.
Last question. How about the young guns, Kevin Quiambao and Tamayo? So what are your thoughts about them?
Well, they're still finding their way. They're young, and they are young guns. And, young guns have moments where they really come out and just really impress. And then they'll have other moments where they're kind of trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing out there. That's why I say, and they're not going to be happy about me saying this, but I've said it a million times. You develop and you get better when you have young players on your team, because they're going to grow faster and reach levels. But if you want to win now, you have to have a veteran team. You have to have vets who already know what they're supposed to do, already know how to play the game, and play in big moments and such like that. So that's why we've tried so hard to create a balance between the young guys and the vets. I think that's going to continue. I think for a while these guys will come out and look lost at times. At other times they're going to come out and look great. and that's the inconsistency you have from young players. You hope that the veterans will kind of smooth that out. They've been through that already. They know it all already. So, we're really impressed with the skill levels of our young guys. And don't forget, Kai is the youngest of all at 21. Although you don't think of him as being young, but he plays like a veteran because he's been everywhere and done everything. But Carl and Kevin are still learning the game, and especially learning our system. And also, by the way, it's much harder to learn our system at the wing or the guard position than it is at the center position. It's more simplified for the center. So it'll be more simplified for Kai, but for Carl and Kevin, it's a little bit harder to learn our system. But I'm not only talking about offense, I'm also talking about defense. And that's where they have struggled more than anything, is understanding our defensive concepts.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you.